What is born must die. Is the witness consciousness permanent or not? It is not permanent. The knower rises and sets with the known. That in which both the knower and the known arise and set is beyond time. The words permanent or eternal do not apply. In sleep is there neither the known nor the knower? What keeps the body sensitive and receptive? Surely you cannot say the knower was absent. The experience of things and thoughts was not there. That is all. But the absence of experience too is experience. It is like entering a dark room and saying, "I see nothing." A man blind from birth knows not what darkness means. Similarly, only the knower knows that he does not know. Sleep is merely a lapse in memory. Life goes on. And what is death? It is the change in the living process of a particular body. Integration ends and disintegration sets in. But what about the knower? With the disappearance of the body, does the knower disappear? Just as the knower of the body appears at birth, so he disappears at death. And nothing remains? Life remains. Consciousness needs a vehicle and an instrument for its manifestation. When life produces another body, another knower comes into being. Is there a causal link between these successive body knowers or body minds? Yes, there is something that may be called the memory body or a causal body, a record of all that was thought, wanted, and done. It is like a cloud of images held together. And what is this sense of a separate existence? It is a reflection in a separate body of the one reality. In this reflection, the unlimited and the limited are confused and taken to be the same. To undo this confusion is the purpose of yoga. Does not death undo this confusion? In death, only the body dies. Life does not. Consciousness does not. Reality does not. And the life is never so alive as after death. But does one get reborn? What was born must die. Only the unborn is deathless. Find what it is that never sleeps and never wakes, and whose pale reflection is our sense of I. How am I going to go about this finding out? How do you go about finding anything? By keeping your mind and heart in it. Interest there must be, and steady remembrance. To remember what needs to be remembered is the secret of success. You come to it through earnestness. Do you mean to say that mere wanting to find out is enough? Surely both qualifications and opportunities are needed. These will come with earnestness. What is supremely important is to be free from contradictions. The goal and the way must not be on different levels. Life and light must not quarrel. Behavior must not betray belief. Call it honesty, integrity, wholeness. You must not go back, undo, uproot, abandon the conquered ground. Tenacity of purpose and honesty in pursuit will bring you to your goal. Tenacity and honesty are endowments, surely. Not a trace of them I have. All will come as you go on. Take the first step first. All blessings come from within. Turn within. I am, you know. Be with it all the time you can spare, until you revert to it spontaneously. There is no simple and easier way. When the mind is quiet, we come to know ourselves as the pure witness. All teachers advise to meditate. What is the purpose of meditation? We know the outer world of sensations and actions, but of our inner world of thoughts and feelings we know very little. The primary purpose of meditation is to become conscious of and familiar with our inner life. The ultimate purpose is to reach the source of life and consciousness. Incidentally, practice of meditation affects deeply our character. We are slaves to what we do not know. Of what we know, we are masters. Whatever vice or weakness in ourselves we discover and understand its causes and its workings, we overcome it by the very knowing. The unconscious dissolves when brought into the conscious. The dissolution of the unconscious releases energy. The mind feels adequate and becomes quiet. What is the use of a quiet mind? When the mind is quiet, we come to know ourselves as the pure witness. We withdraw from the experience and its experiencer. We withdraw from the experience and its experiencer and stand apart in pure awareness, which is between and beyond the two. The personality, based on self-identification, on imagining oneself to be something, I am this, I am that, continues, but only as a part of the objective world. Its identification with the witness snaps. As I can make out, I live on many levels, and life on each level requires energy. The self by its very nature delights in everything, and its energies flow outwards. Is it not the purpose of meditation to dam up the energies on the higher levels, or to push them back and up, so as to enable the higher levels to prosper also? It is not so much the matter of levels as of gunas, qualities. Meditation is a sattvic activity, and aims at complete elimination of tamas, inertia, and rajas, motivity. Pure sattva harmony is perfect freedom from sloth and restlessness. How to strengthen and purify the sattva? The sattva is pure and strong always. It is like the sun. It may seem obscured by clouds and dust, but only from the point of view of the perceiver. Deal with the causes of obscuration, not with the sun. What is the use of sattva? What is the use of truth, goodness, harmony, beauty? They are their own goal. They manifest spontaneously and effortlessly when things are left to themselves, are not interfered with, not shunned or wanted, or conceptualized, but just experienced in full awareness. And awareness itself is sattva. It does not make use of things and people. It fulfills them. Since I cannot improve sattva, am I to deal with tamas and rajas only? How can I deal with them? By watching their influence in you and on you. Be aware of them in operation. Watch their expressions and your thoughts, words and deeds, and gradually their grip on you will lessen and the clear light of sattva will emerge. It is neither difficult nor a protracted process. Earnestness is the only condition of success. The mind. There are very interesting books written by apparently very competent people, in which the illusoriness of the world is denied, though not its transitoriness. According to them, there exists a hierarchy of beings, from the lowest to the highest. On each level, the complexity of the organism enables and reflects the depth, breadth, and intensity of consciousness without any visible or knowable culmination. One law supreme rules throughout: evolution of forms for the growth and enrichment of consciousness and manifestation of its infinite potentialities. This may or may not be so. Even if it is only so from the mind's point of view. But in fact, the entire universe, Mahadakash, exists only in consciousness, Chidakash, where I have my stand in the Absolute, Paramakash. In pure being, consciousness arises. In consciousness, the world appears and disappears. All there is me. All there is mine. Before all beginnings, after all endings, I am. All has its being in me, in the I am, that shines in every living being. Even not being is unthinkable without me. Whatever happens, I must be there to witness it. Why do you deny being to the world? I do not negate the world. I see it as appearing in consciousness, which is the totality of the known in the immensity of the unknown. What begins and ends is mere appearance. The world can be said to appear, but not to be. The appearance may last very long on some scale of time and be very short on another, but ultimately it comes to the same. Whatever is time-bound is momentary and has no reality. Surely you see the actual world as it surrounds you. You seem to behave quite normally. That is how it appears to you. What in your case occupies the entire field of consciousness is a mere speck in mine. The world lasts but for a moment. It is your memory that makes you think that the world continues. Myself, I don't live by memory. I see the world as it is, a momentary appearance in consciousness. In your consciousness, all idea of me and mine, even of I am, is in consciousness. Is then your absolute being, Paramakash, unconsciousness? The idea of unconsciousness exists in consciousness only. Then how do you know you are in the supreme state? Because I am in it. It is the only natural state. Can you describe it? Only by negation, as uncaused, independent, unrelated, undivided, uncomposed, unshakable, unquestionable, unreachable by effort. Every positive definition is from memory, and therefore inapplicable. And yet my state is supremely actual and therefore possible, realizable, attainable. Are you not immersed timelessly in an abstraction? Abstraction is mental and verbal and disappears in sleep or swoon. It reappears in time. I am in my own state, Swarupa, timelessly in the now. Past and future are in mind only. I am now. The world, too, is now. Which world? The world around us. It is your world you have in mind, not mine. What do you know of me? When even my talk with you is in your world only, you have no reason to believe that my world is identical with yours. My world is real, true, as it is perceived, while yours appears and disappears according to the state of your mind. Your world is something alien, and you are afraid of it. My world is myself. I am at home. If you are the world, how can you be conscious of it? Is not the subject of consciousness different from its object? Consciousness and the world appear and disappear together. Hence they are two aspects of the same state. In sleep I am not. The world continues. How do you know? On waking up, I come to know. My memory tells me. Memory is in the mind. The mind continues in sleep. It is partly in abeyance, but its world picture is not affected. As long as the mind is there, your body and your world are there. Your world is mind-made, subjective, and closed within the mind, fragmentary, temporary, personal, hanging on the thread of memory. So is yours. Oh, no, I live in a world of realities while yours is of imagination. Your world is personal, private, unshareable, intimately your own. Nobody can enter it. See as you see, hear as you hear, feel your emotions, and think your thoughts. In your world you are truly alone, enclosed in your ever-changing dream, which you take for life. My world is an open world, common to all, accessible to all. In my world there is community, insight, love, real quality. The individual is the totality in the individual. All are one, and the one is all. Is your world full of things and people as is mine? No, it is full of myself. But do you not see and hear as we do? Yes, I appear to hear and see and talk and act. But to me it just happens. As to you digestion or perspiration happens. The body-mind machine looks after it but leaves me out of it. Just as you do not need to worry about growing hair, so I need not worry about words and actions. They just happen and leave me unconcerned, for in my world nothing ever goes wrong. The self stands beyond the mind. As a child, fairly often I experienced states of complete happiness, verging on ecstasy. Later they ceased. But since I came to India, they reappeared, particularly after I met you. Yet these states, however wonderful, are not lasting. They come and go, and there is no knowing when they will come back. How can anything be steady in a mind which is itself not steady? How can I make my mind steady? How can an unsteady mind make itself steady? Of course it cannot. It is the nature of the mind to roam about. All you can do is to shift the focus of consciousness beyond the mind. How is it done? Refuse all thoughts except one, the thought I am. The mind will rebel in the beginning, but with patience and perseverance it will yield and keep quiet. Once you are quiet, things will begin to happen spontaneously and quite naturally without any interference on your part. Can I avoid this protracted battle with my mind? Yes, you can. Just live your life as it comes. Be alertly, watchfully, allowing everything to happen as it happens, doing the natural things the natural way, suffering, rejoicing, as life brings. This also is a way. Well, then, I can as well marry, have children, run a business, be happy. Sure, you may or you may not be happy. Take it in your stride. Yet I want happiness. True happiness cannot be found in things that change and pass away. Pleasure and pain alternate inexorably. Happiness comes from the self and can be found in the self only. Find your real self, Swarupa, and all else will come with it. If my real self is peace and love, why is it so restless? It is not your real being that is restless, but its reflection in the mind appears restless, because the mind is restless. It is just like the reflection of the moon in the water stirred by the wind. The wind of desire stirs the mind, and the me, which is but a reflection of the self in the mind, appears changeful. But these ideas of movement, of restlessness, of pleasure and pain are all in the mind. The self stands beyond the mind, aware but unconcerned. How to reach it? You are the self, here and now. Leave the mind alone. Stand aware and unconcerned, and you will realize that to stand alert but detached, watching events come and go, is an aspect of your real nature. What are the other aspects? The aspects are infinite in number. Realize one and you will realize all. Tell me something that would help me. You know best what you need. I'm restless. How can I gain peace? For what do you need peace? To be happy. Are you not happy now? No, I am not. What makes you unhappy? I have what I don't want and want what I don't have. Why don't you invert it? Want what you have and care not for what you don't have. I want what is pleasant and don't want what is painful. How do you know what is pleasant and what is not? From past experience, of course. Guided by memory, you have been pursuing the pleasant and shunning the unpleasant. Have you succeeded? No, I have not. The pleasant does not last. Pain sets in again. Which pain? The desire for pleasure, the fear of pain. Both are states of distress. Is there a state of unalloyed pleasure? Every pleasure, physical or mental, needs an instrument. Both the physical and mental instruments are material. They get tired and worn out. The pleasure they yield is necessarily limited in intensity and duration. Pain is the background of all your pleasures. You want them because you suffer. On the other hand, the very search for pleasure is the cause of pain. It is a vicious circle. I can see the mechanism of my confusion, but I do not see my way out of it. The very examination of the mechanism shows the way. After all, your confusion is only in your mind, which never rebelled so far against confusion and never got to grips with it. It rebelled only against pain. So all I can do is to stay confused? Be alert, question, observe, investigate. Learn all you can about confusion, how it operates, what it does to you and others. By being clear about confusion, you become clear of confusion. When I look into myself, I find my strongest desire is to create a monument, to build something which will outlast me. Even when I think of a home, wife, and child, it is because it is lasting, solid testimony to myself. Right? Build yourself a monument? How do you propose to do it? It matters little what I build, as long as it is permanent. Surely you can see for yourself that nothing is permanent. All wears out, breaks down, dissolves. The very ground on which you build gives way. What can you build that will outlast all? Intellectually, verbally, I am aware that all is transient. Yet somehow my heart wants permanency. I want to create something that lasts. Then you must build it of something lasting. What have you that is lasting? Neither your body nor your mind will last. You must look elsewhere. I look for permanency, but I find it nowhere. Are you, yourself, not permanent? I was born, I shall die. Can you truly say you were not before you were born, and can you possibly say when dead, now I am no more? You cannot say from your own experience that you are not. You can only say, I am. Others, too, cannot tell you you are not. There is no I am in sleep. Before you make such sweeping statements, examine carefully your waking state. You will soon discover that it is full of gaps when the mind blanks out. Notice how little you remember, even when fully awake. You just don't remember. A gap in memory is not necessarily a gap in consciousness. Can I make myself remember my state of deep sleep? Of course, by eliminating the intervals of inadvertence during your waking hours, you will gradually eliminate the long intervals of absent-mindedness, which you call sleep. You will be aware that you are asleep. Yet the problem of permanency, of continuity of being, is not solved. Permanency is a mere idea, born of the action of time. Time again depends of memory. By permanency you mean unfailing memory through endless time. You want to eternalize the mind, which is not possible. Then what is eternal? That which does not change with time. You cannot eternalize a transient thing. Only the changeless is eternal. I am familiar with the general sense of what you say, and I do not crave for more knowledge. All I want is peace. You can have for the asking all the peace you want. I am asking. You must ask with an undivided heart and live an integrated life. How? Detach yourself from all that makes your mind restless. Renounce all that disturbs its peace. If you want peace, deserve it. Surely everybody deserves peace. Those only deserve it who don't disturb it. In what way do I disturb peace? By being a slave to your desires and fears. Even when they are justified? Emotional reactions, born of ignorance or inadvertence, are never justified. Seek a clear mind and a clean heart. All you need is to keep quietly alert, inquiring into the real nature of yourself. This is the only way to peace.